I'm feeling rough today, so make sure you adjust that light and make me look good. Hey everybody, and happy Monday. You know what that means. Go grab your favorite cup of hot cocoa, a few of your favorite cookies, pull up a chair, and sit and chat with me a while in today's episode of Cocoa and Cookies. Well, happy Monday to you guys. That is hot. Let me show you my mug. If you guys watched the project share over the weekend, then you've already seen this. One side says DeeVine DeeZine, and the other side has my name etched in there. Not sure if you're going to be able to see that on camera. This came to me from Frances over at Blessedly Made. I'm going to have her channel linked for you down below. Y'all hop on over and check her out. But thank you very much, Frances. I'd love to learn how to do this etching. I don't know, are there YouTube videos that might teach me how, or a blog I can read? How did you do that? So nice. But that would be great for a couple of Christmas gifts this year that I need to make. So let me know how you did that. I love it. Absolutely love it. As you guys can tell, I definitely have the hot chocolate this morning. I didn't have it last week. I had water last week. But I thought, you know what, as rough as I'm feeling today, I think a little hot cocoa is in order. Whew, you guys know sometimes Monday is hard for me because Sundays are so busy. And I don't know, maybe I need to change cocoa and cookies to a different day of the week. Then y'all might get something a little better than this because it just is what it is. Oh my. Definitely feeling it this morning. So rough. And we've got a busy day. Little buddy has a soccer game tonight. He's been having soccer games 3 nights a week. So that keeps us running in between all the busyness that already is our life. So we've been having to adjust a little bit, trying to figure out new schedules to work around that. He's been having a blast. They've won 2 games and lost 1. The last one that they lost was 3-1. And really, one of the goals shouldn't have been scored on them, but there was a little miscommunication down on the field. So pretty close game, but that was a really, really good team. They actually have a coach from Germany, and from what I understand, he's professional at soccer. So I don't know, I'm not sure if that means he played soccer professionally or exactly what that means, but they were very well trained, well conditioned, looked really sharp out there on the field. So, but our boys still held their own. They have a very good team this year. So it's been exciting. It's been fun. It's been quite a few years since we got to cheer for him down on the field. He played soccer when he was much younger. He also started out with flag football, then he moved into Pop Warner football, and he's always been active, and we love cheering on the sidelines. But it's been a few years because he's had a few other interests, you know, in the meantime, but it's been fun getting to be back up in the stands and cheering and all that good stuff. So got another game tonight. I think tonight we got to travel about 1.5 hours away. Tonight will be an away game, so, and it looks really dark outside. I'm not sure if you can tell out this window or not, but hoping it's not going to rain. Miserable sitting out there at those games in the rain. But anyway, a lot has happened since the last Cocoa and Cookies. A lot. I mean, it's like been a crazy full week, not only on a personal level, but obviously, you guys know, on a national level as well. We've got some new local changes that are going to be happening after the election. We've got some new state changes that are going to be happening after the election. Obviously, we've got some new national changes that are going to be happening after the election. So, it's been a week of adjusting. Not real sure that everyone is adjusting real well. I've been kind of sad as I've been hearing the news and watching different things that are going on around the country. I tell you, my thoughts weighing in on that is this. I mean, I've even seen where college professors have canceled midterm exams because people are so distraught over the election. I've seen where a lot of the universities are setting up counseling services because people are so distraught over the election. And it's kind of that age bracket around the age of my daughter, which is why I had her on last week, wanted to talk with her and her generation. This is my estimation of the whole problem. Yeah, it's sad when your candidate doesn't win. When you are backing someone, no matter what it is, whether it's politics or anything, you know, when you have your heart set on winning a ball game, you know, winning whatever, it is very disappointing when you lose. But here's what I am seeing. This generation in the age range that's having the most trouble with loss, so to speak, is the generation that we stopped letting them lose a long time ago. Now, what I mean by that is, for a long time, little kids on soccer games haven't been allowed to keep score because we don't want winners, we don't want losers. You know, kids in school, I remember growing up, whenever we went to school, the kids who were on the AB honor roll always got treated at the end of every 9 weeks with something special. It could have been a special movie day that we would have down in the cafeteria that you got to go to if your grades were high enough. It could be just a number of things. You know, teachers might bring me a little something special, just whatever it was. We got rewarded if we did well. And if you didn't do well, you didn't get rewarded for that. But we removed that. The school system started saying, no, we can't do that for the AB students anymore because the C and D students are feeling too bad. It hurts their feelings when they have to watch someone be honored. And we removed honor, we removed reward, we removed celebration, and we removed the teaching how to lose aspect. Now, what I mean by that is, not only do we have to learn how to be good winners, to have a good attitude when we win. Like when my son walks off the field, if he's won the soccer game, you know, we teach them don't taunt, don't tease, don't rub it in your opponent's face. Be a good winner. But somewhere along the line, in removing the scores for these young kids and removing the competition, you know, it went to a thing to where you got a trophy if you were the most valuable player on the team, to they did away with that. Everybody got a trophy just for participating on the team, because we don't want kids to feel bad for the ones who get the trophies as the most valuable player. Everybody's valuable. And although that's true to a degree, by doing that, we have lost the ability to teach people how to lose. You have to lose as gracefully as you learn how to win. When you win, you don't want to rub it in people's faces and be arrogant and cocky about it. But when you lose, you don't want to be a sore loser and pout and cry about it. And when you remove the ability to win or lose, you remove the aspect of teaching how to accept defeat. And I think that's what we're seeing. I think we're seeing that in our culture right now. This generation of millennials who's having the most difficult time with loss over this election, and we're seeing these riots breaking out, and we're seeing kids, you know, skipping out of school and missing final exams or midterm exams in their college classes, and all this stuff that we're seeing going on. It's being perpetuated by a generation who was never taught to lose gracefully. And I just think it's sad. I think we do a disservice and an injustice to children when we don't teach them how to lose, because it is very clear that sometimes you're going to win and sometimes you're going to lose. Sometimes you're going to be the best, but sometimes you're not. And to remove the idea of teaching children that aspect of life does them a grave injustice. Matter of fact, I had read an article several months back. It was near the beginning of the school year this year. I read an article about college students all across the nation that psychologists were seeing a higher level of anxiety than ever before, and they were having to set up special counseling times for students who were not passing a class or who were not making a passing grade on exams in their college classes. The whole reason for that is exactly what I'm just sharing with you. They have been pushed through a school system from kindergarten to 12th grade that never taught them how to lose or how to fail. Down here anyway, with the Common Core program, students really don't really pass or fail, so to speak. Everybody is kind of given a mediocre type grade, and the students who excel aren't rewarded for that anymore. That's not applauded anymore. And the students who fail, did I say succeed? The students who succeed aren't applauded or rewarded anymore, and the students who fail aren't punished anymore. So now they're graduating, getting off to college, and they don't know how to handle it when they get to college, and these professors are giving them a failing grade because they deserve it. The article was all about adulting. We don't know how to adult. And I thought that was so interesting to read. And so sad, especially as a youth pastor. You know, we work with the teenagers in our church and prepare them for college. We prepare to send them off to the next phase of their life. And you guys know that we've also been filling in the last little while in our children's ministry while they're looking for a children's pastor. And one of the things that we spend a lot of time on is this aspect, teaching kids. We reward them for their good behavior. We offer positive reinforcements for the things that they do well, but we also allow them to fail or to not be rewarded when they don't behave well. Because we are firm believers that kids need to be well-rounded and well-balanced, and they need to learn how to cope with the emotions that come on both sides of that. Yeah, we have kids every Sunday who get disappointed when their team loses and don't get points up on the board. But the reality is, what I've noticed is some of the newer ones that had started coming a few months back would really pout and pitch a fit at first. And now when they lose, you can see the little disappointment on their face, but they get right on in with the next game and they're ready to go. So even just in the couple of months that we've been working on this problem, this issue, we have seen huge improvement in these kids. And they're learning that failure is not the end of the world. Failure doesn't mean your life is over. Failure just lets you know where you need to buckle down, do a little bit better, and succeed the next time. And so it's really got me thinking this week about this whole aspect again, about people who don't know how to lose graciously, no matter what area of life it is, from the political arena that we're seeing, all the way down to the sports, all the way down to your testing in school. Just so many areas of life where you have the opportunity every day, even in parenting, making decisions there, you know, making decisions in every area of your life opens you up for the possibility of success or failure. And we need to learn how to behave and how to deal with the emotions that come from both sides of the coin. You know, we're not always going to succeed. We're not always going to be the best. Sometimes there really is somebody out there that's just a little better than us, or that's going to beat us out. And, you know, one final example of that I'll use is a couple of years ago, you guys know that my children participate every year in a fine arts competition we have here in the state of Florida. And most years they've been invited to participate on a national level. But there was a year after my daughter had been invited to sing on the national level. The next year, she did not make an invitation for the national level. And of course, we all were disappointed. She was disappointed. And you want to be able to go and participate at that level so bad. And you're thinking, well, I made it last year. I don't understand. What's wrong? What happened? And going from the high of that emotion the year before to being invited, to being able to compete on a national level to the next year, such disappointment that you didn't score high enough to go national. But we used that as a great opportunity to teach her. And I can remember sitting down with her one night, and these were the words that came out of my mouth. And not even really something that I had thought about a whole lot up to that point. But I told her, I said, you know, babe, maybe God is helping you learn how to be a gracious loser, because not always in life will you succeed at what you set out to do. And maybe, just maybe, God is testing you to see how you're going to behave when you're not considered the best. And it was a real profound moment for her. It was a real profound moment for us as a family. It was a time when our responsibility to teach her how to lose graciously was very important, you know. And I think that sometimes God is not always impressed when we handle ourselves well when we win, because a lot of people can do that. You're happy, things went your way. Oftentimes it is in the hard times of life when our true character is shown. You know, are you still going to be able to rejoice with those who rejoice when they have a victory and you have a loss? It's times like that when our true character is shown and developed. And obviously it's not a test for God, because God already knows. He knows everything. But it's a test for us. It's for us to be able to see, wow, all these things that I hold true to be evident in my faith, I am really being able to live it. And it's okay. This wasn't the end of the world for me. You know, she was crushed. We did go to the national level with some other students who were in the youth group at the time. She went, she cheered them on. She had a great week and a great time. And then the very next year, she was invited back to nationals again. And so I think it's just very important that we teach our children, or teach children under our care. Maybe you don't have children of your own. Maybe you're just a teacher at school, or maybe I don't mean that as in just a teacher. What I mean is maybe your role doesn't include being a mom, but you're a teacher at school, or you're a teacher in a Sunday school class at your church, or you're a teacher in a community type activity that you guys do extracurricular after school, or whatever your role is. Maybe you're an aunt to someone. You know, just your sphere of influence with little ones around you can be very valuable if you will use the opportunity to help teach them on both sides of the coin, whether they win or lose. And I think that what we're seeing right now happening around our nation is just a prime example of what happens when we don't teach people that losing is not the end of the world. The world will go on. Things will continue. It'll give us opportunity to make things better. It gives us opportunity to grow together. And yeah, just all that. It's been really sad. It's really got my mind on this issue again. And just the injustice that I think we've done a whole generation. I think we need to get back to rewarding those who succeed, and not rewarding the ones who don't. So anyway, that's just what was on my mind today in the midst of everything that's going on. And coming off of yesterday, we had, you know, on Sundays we give out rewards to the children who behave the best on a given Sunday. And at first, you know, yeah, it was a little bit of a challenge, all the ones who didn't win. But now they have gotten used to that, and they understand, and they are happy whenever the rewards are passed out at the end of the day. So it can be accomplished. It was when I was a kid, for crying out loud. My goodness, and I think I turned out okay. All of you who are around my generation, we turned out all right, didn't we? So maybe we need to get back to some of the good old principles that's actually worked for a very long time. But anyway, that's all I had to share today. I'm going to hop off of here. I got some fun videos coming for you guys. I have a couple of Christmas DIY collaborations that I've been invited to be a part of, so that will be coming soon. Actually, 3. Have 3 of those that will be coming soon. I have another video that's going to be coming out this coming weekend, remembering the holidays, a little story time, telling you guys about our childhood memories with the holidays. That's another collab that I was asked to be part of. That'll be fun. I'm working on a bathroom sink organization video for you guys. If you saw that on Instagram over the weekend, just about done with that, ready to show you. And some very fun Christmas gift idea videos coming for you guys. Excited about that. Had my kids in the Dollar Tree last night filming them shopping around. Always a little embarrassing for them, but oh so fun. So on that note, I'm going to go ahead and leave you. I'm going to hop off of here, get a few things done today, and get ready to head to a soccer game. Hopefully we'll win tonight, but you never know how it's going to turn out. So with that being said, I want to thank you all so very much for sitting here and chatting with me a while this morning. Again, Francis, thank you so much for my beautiful mug. I absolutely love it. And I will see you all soon in the next video.